Hi everyone, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, so as far as I promise, I'm going to start computer science courses on my YouTube channel for non-CSE aspirants, right? In fact, the computer science aspirant also will get benefited from this initiative. But as I want to encourage everyone, as we have got two paper combination in gate examination, right? We are from ECE, so we can begin our preparation for computer science as well. Because after all, computer science would be, helping you to get good job in India, right? Or you can say in the world, in fact, right? So this will open you to, get a good package as well, right? So you will not be restricted to only one branch, that is electronics or electrical or instrumentation or mechanical or computer science, right? Or anything, right? You can open yourself now. So it's time where I'm going to introduce how to prepare discrete mathematics, right, for gate to 2023, okay, by your own, right? So you have to follow this YouTube channel where you will get the complete playlist on this discrete mathematics. So as you can see here, the discrete mathematics, we are going to discuss today what is the topic we will be studying in discrete mathematics according to the GATE Computer Science 2023 syllabus, right? And we will also see how many question has been asked from that particular topic. And we will also see that what marks, or how many questions we can expect in GATE 2020. So I hope you are able to watch this video, right? So let's begin here, right? Okay. So in discrete mathematics, first of all, what is discrete mathematics, right? So we must understand that discrete mathematics is nothing but the study of discrete objects, okay? And it is also known as the mathematical foundation for computer science. Mathematical foundation for computer science. So if you want to understand other subject of computer science such as algorithm, data structure, any other subject, right? TOC, theory of computation, compiler design. Okay, there are various subjects in computer science already have, I think, introduced in one of the session, right? So you can watch that session. That session was, I think, in detail, right? So I'm going to talk about discrete mathematics today. So it is one of the mathematical foundation, right? Mathematical foundation, you can say, for computer science, right? And I'm also going to highlight that what you have already studied in your school days, okay, uh, which will be quite similar. Whatever you have studied in mathematics in school days will be similar from this discrete mathematics, right? Some of the basic thing we will be utilizing. So let me see the yeah, everything is okay, right? So as you can see the thumbnail as well, I have listed down all the outlines of this section, right? In discrete mathematics, we will be first talking about the counting techniques, okay? The counting techniques where we will be talking about some basic counting techniques, right? Okay, and because after all we have to study about discrete objects, so we must know what are the counting techniques. So already we have studied these things in our permutation and combinations, right, in class 11th while preparing for some quantity examination, right? And then we will talk about sets. Okay, already you have studied also set about from ninth you have been studying sets, right? So you have to recall all those basic things, right? The very first topic we will study here, the counting techniques, okay? Then we will talk about sets, where we will be talking about various things like operations on sets, identities, and the very important concept, that is inclusion and exclusion principle, right? So that is one of the very important concept, okay? So these two topics already you are familiar with, okay? Because if you are solving any permutation combination problem, so you need to know what are the counting techniques and some of the basic rules such as sum rule and product rule and all those things. So just I'm highlighting here the topics, okay? And later I will discuss by taking one topic, and we will discuss what are the things we are going to include, right? So how to prepare discrete mathematics if you're from electronics and communication engineering background and you're supposed to write gate in EC as well as in computer science. So this session will be beneficial for you. And guys, let me tell you, if you are good at computer science subjects now, so your life will be far easier. How? See, suppose you're solving any electronics problem, right? You face a lot of difficulty because you don't know how to solve that electronics problem, right? So you can go for divide and conquer rule, right? What is divide and conquer rule? You divide your entire problem into sub problems, right? Okay, then you start solving sub problems. Okay, so if you know the parts, you can construct the whole. That is what the story here is, right? But being an electronics and communication engineer, engineering aspirants, we don't know. Okay, we always follow some formula. Okay, we don't apply our logic. Okay, that's the reason we always fail everywhere, right? In fact, we are not able to do well in any subjects of electrical engineering or electronics engineering, right? So, computer science, at least if you will be knowing the basic of fundamental of any topics, okay, so that is going to be very beneficial for you in future. Okay, if you go for research or MTech or any kind of jobs. So the topic like counting techniques, this already you have studied in your class, 12th. You can revise. We will be talking here, okay, with respect to computer science and sets. So these things you have been studying about class ninth, I think. Class 9. So this is again very important. To class 12th, you study about sets. What is set? Okay, that is a well-defined collection of, okay, that is what? The well-defined collection of objects. Well-defined collection of. So what I'm saying here is that I'm opening your eyes. You might be thinking computer science is so difficult, okay, but it is quite going to be very easy if you are good at mathematical foundation for computer science. Suppose you're going for JE preparation at present after doing your BTech. Suppose, right? You will not do the same, but suppose you passed out 10th and you go for foundation course, right? So this is what the foundation you can say for computer science. Next, we will talk about logic. Okay, logic. So there will be two kind of logics. Okay, there will be two kind of logic always. There will be one propositional logic, and then there will be what? There will be predicate logic. So we'll talk about proposition logic, then we'll talk about predicate logic, okay? And how can we convert predicate logic into proposition logic using quantifiers and all those things we talk here. And then we will talk about functions. So you know already you have studied functions, right? You have studied functions in your class 12th, okay? Without functions, you can't understand anything, right? So you have studied about how to identify one is one function or on two function, all those things. Before that, we must also study about relations, right? What is relations? Okay, relations is basically what the subset of the Cartesian product. You have studied these things, right, already, okay, in your class 11th mathematics, right? So please, if you are going to face any topic in discrete mathematics, you have to recall your school as well, okay? Because most of the educator, they will not talk about these things, right? You have studied these things in your school days. Otherwise, what is the need of, right? So please, these are the very basic thing. We will be talking about discrete mathematics from the very basics, okay? Considering that you don't know anything, I don't know anything, in fact, right? But we have to study all together, and we have to make computer science better, okay, for us. If you are from non-CSE background, if you are from mechanical, civil, electrical, electronics, instrumentation, anybody, then prepare with me and crack gate 2023 in computer science. Yeah. So then we will talk about algebraic structure. Okay. Okay. Here we will be talking about various things, like we will talk about groups, and various properties here. Okay. And then we will talk about graph theory. And graph theory is one of the very important topic for gate exams. Okay, in computer science. So graph theory, we'll studying graph theory in part 1 and part 2, right? So that better we can consume content, right? And then at the end, we will end up talking again about advanced counting techniques. Advanced counting techniques. It is nothing but the private permutation combination, okay? The last topic of permutation combination which you study for JAE preparation, right? Like we talk about permutation and combination with repetition, right? We talk about dearrangement problems, okay? So in computer science is all about common sense as well as logical understanding. If you can develop logics, you can do far better, right? So yeah, so let's talk about first topic, right? I have given you the outline here. These are the outline, okay? These are the outline I have told. Now let's talk about first topic, which I will be starting after this session, right? The first topic is going to be what counting techniques. In counting techniques, we will be starting with the fundamental of counting, right? Or you can say fundamental rules, such as sum rule, okay? Product rule, okay? Product rule, sum rule. And then under counting techniques, we'll talk about permutation and combination, right? So you know this permutation and combination, what is permutation, what is combination. You know this rule as well, NCR rule, right? So NCR equal to what? N factorial R factorial upon N minus R factorial. Then NPR, right? So these things, I think in aptitude also you study, and in 12th and 11th. So make sure that you can revise all these basics from your NCRTs, okay, before you get start preparing for this, right? So you know that is good. You can start from here, or else you needless to go back to school. Start from here only, because I'm going to teach you from the very basics. Then under counting techniques, those things we will be talking, okay, and we'll talk about various rules here, right, such as inclusion, exclusion principle, all those things. Then you can see here sets. We will be talking about sets here, right? So in sets, what is set? First of all, so well defined collection of object, right? Well defined collection of object. And we will talk about the representation of sets, right? We'll talk about roster form, right? We'll talk about set builder forms, set builder form. So how we can put all the element inside the curly bracket, that is going to be your separated by some commas, that is roster form, which we study in class ninth, right? So it is nothing but it is not that difficult, right? It's not that difficult. Okay, so I think this is clear for everyone. Then yeah, then we will talk about identities and various operations. So you can see these this is the union intersects, know and this is complementary, right? So complements, what is subset, all those things we talk. And we will talk about very important problem, that is principle, in fact, inclusion and exclusion principle, right? Here number of element we are going to see here. A union B, okay, equal to this. I hope this is clear. So A, you're writing like this, so it is complement, right? A complement. So here we will talk about one of the application here, that is dearrangement problem in the application of inclusion and exclusion principle. Then it is also mentioned in the syllabus. You can see your original syllabus, which I have already given you. In proposition logic, I will be talking about propositions and connectives, right? Okay, propositions and connectives, okay, and there we will talk about various kind of connectives, such as negations. This is negation, conjunction, disjunction, implications, okay, by implications, right? And then we will talk about equivalence, okay, equivalence and logical implications. So these are the topic we will cover under proposition logic. And you have to also prioritize, okay, that which topic has got I mean how many number of question has been asked previously. So those topics you have to focus more. At the end of this season, I will be letting you know that how many question has been asked previously, and how many question you can expect in future as well, right? So these are the connectives, right? Under proposition logic we will study. Then under proposition logic we will study about rules of inferences, right? Of inferences, okay, where a conjunction of premises, conclusion, okay, and this kind what we have seen these connectives, right? So this conjunction here, then conjunction, all these things. Then we will also talk about some additional concepts such as exclusive or. Okay, for easy people, they know all these things. What is exclusive or, right? Exclusive or means what? It exclude the status being one. If input is at same state, right, so it is going to be giving you zero, right? And these things we will talk, or nor and right? And here also we will discuss one of the very important concept, that is tree method we will talk, right? So in fact we solve probability using tree diagrams, right? Those things are very important. Then after proposition logic we are going to talk about predicate logic, right? And predicate logic is what? It is an open proposition. It is an open proposition. And in predicate logic, we will talk about predicates and quantifiers, and we will also see how to convert predicate proposition using quantifiers, right? So you will study two kind of quantifiers here. One will be universal quantifiers, okay, which is denoted by like this, okay, and then you will study about existential quantifiers, okay, that is denoted by like this, that is, okay, just take E, okay, put mirror, so mirror image of E, okay. So this is existential quantifier and this is quantifier. So these quantifier will be used to convert predicate to proposition logic. So you already might have heard about what is predicate, right? What is predicate? I think in your English grammar you have studied these things, subject and predicate, all those things. So if you have studied some of the basic thing, yeah, they are going to be useful, right? So always I say, never lose basics. Okay, in my case, when I was preparing for gate in early days, right, so I used to face a lot of problem, because you don't know the basics. What are the basic thing? See, suppose you have passed out 7th class, you went to study 8th class, right? You're supposed to forget 7th, 6th, 5th. Then how will you will be able to understand class 7th, class 6th? The same rule works here as well. So this is what the you can see, this is the quantifier, okay, that is this universal quantifier x and px, this is predicate, and this is existential quantifier, right? Okay, so this is universal quantifier, okay, and this is gonna be your I mean this. So two things are very important, no matter in from which branch you belong to. First one is you must know what is divide and conquer rule. Second one is you must be able to ignore many things, okay, while solving the problem. Okay, if there is an opportunity to ignore, or there is an opportunity to approximate things, right? So you must be able to do, right? Okay, so like in devices, in different subject, right? So in computer science also, if you're good at logical reasoning, okay, if you're good at divide and conquer rules, so you can solve any problem, right? Any big problem can be divided into sub problems, okay, and then start solving. That is what the divide and conquer rule. Those things you will study in your algorithms and data structures. This is the existential quantifier, right? Will be used to convert, predicate to proposition. Under predicate logic, we'll study about statements into symbolic forms, right? There we'll talk about one of the very important rules, that is Aristotelian rule, right? And then after quantifiers, we'll talk about nested quantifiers. What is nested quantifier? That is two place predicate here. So we'll talk about nested quantifier. So this, if you will be able to recall this, okay, keep in mind so you can solve most of the problem which has been asked in the gate examination. So this relation, right? So already I have told you this is universal quantifier, and if you see this is what the essential quantifier. So universal quantifier x, universal quantifier by, this diagram you have to keep. And then we'll talk about functions. Okay, so functions, we'll talk about one function, on two functions, right? And we'll talk about relations. So I already told you that relation is basically subset. This is the subset. So you can see here, set what you study in class ninth. It's not going to leave you alone, right? Always there is an application. Like in mathematics, when we talk about linear algebra, so vector is always there. The vector space, many concepts are there, right? So we are going to talk about relations. Okay, understand relations and everything, and then we'll talk about composite functions. Composite functions. Okay, we'll talk about countable sets. Under topic relations, right? As I said, that relation is what we will talk about relation on a set, right? Or you can say relation on A. Here relation on between A and B, right? So A cross B is what? That is a Cartesian product we already have studied, but I will be briefing here, okay, in class 12th or class 11th, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So this is going to be relation on A, okay, A cross A, right? There we will talk about various kind of properties or operation. You can say the reflective, reflexive, reflexive, symmetric, asymmetric, anti-symmetric, and transitive. Okay, this kind of relations. Okay, so we will talk about properties and operations and many things, and then we will talk about poset. Okay, this is very important. Poset, poset. Okay, posets. What is poset basically? Poset means P stands for partially, O stands for ordered, right? So partially ordered sets. Poset means partially ordered set, right? Posets. Okay, so when we will call that is going to be poset, right? Okay, the relation on A, which is reflexive, okay, then anti-symmetric, okay, then transitive. Okay, if these three properties are there, so you can say that is going to be posets, right? So poset means partially ordered set. That is also very important. So in posets, we will use this kind of a concept, that is Hasse diagram. Okay, HA. When we will start this session, you will understand all these things. Just I'm going to make you familiar with the outlines of this entire course, right? So here we will talk about lattices. So in lattices, we will say when poset become lattices. So this kind of picture you will find over there, right? So lattices we will discuss, and posets. So poset is very good word, right? Poset, partially ordered set. And we will talk about equivalence relations. So when equivalent relation you will get, when your set will be reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. These three properties, right? And here we will talk about Bell number. Okay, Bell number will be like this. Okay, n minus one ak. Okay, yeah, this is bk here, and b naught is one, and b1 is one. This is very important for n minus one ck, and this summation is running from k. Okay, so this is known as Bell number. Discuss all this. And under algebraic structure, we'll talk about groups mainly. So this is what the very important thing, groups. So we will talk about various property, right, such as closure here, right? So we will also talk about what is semi group. Okay, what is semi group? If it follows closure and associative property. Monoid, okay, if it will follow CAI, you can say closure, associative, and identity. If you have in future, if you will be having any kind of doubt, you can ask us. And groups which follows closure, associative, identity, and inverse, and abelian group, right, which is group plus commutative, right? And we'll talk about subgroup, we will talk about cyclic groups and all. These are very important things. Okay, semi group, closure plus associative, We will see many times the problem, right? Okay. Then the next part of the syllabus is going to be your graph theory. Graph theory is very important. So we have divided graph theory in part 1 and part 2 so that you can better understand, the basic concept. We'll talk about first theorem of graph theory and special graphs and all, right? From one graph, how can you, suppose two graphs are given. So whether you can, draw the same graph or not, right? So that concept is known as isomorphism, right? So isomorphism and subgraphs, these are the very important thing. So basically in the gate examination, you will find some of the puzzle kind of a questions. So we'll solve some puzzles so you will understand. So isomorphism means same graphs drawn differently. So we'll talk about coplanar graphs and many more things. Path and cycle, where we will talk about walk and everything, right? And some additional problem we are going to. This is very important, isomorphism. And planar graphs. Okay, planar graphs. Properties of planar graphs are very important, right? Suppose this is the graph given, right? If you don't want to have this cross here, right? So you can draw this graph differently here. So you can see here, I'm drawing this graph. Now what you can do here is, you can take this and connect. Now it is a planar graph, right? You are able to draw like this. Means there is no cross here, right? We'll talk about trees and connectivity. All these things very important. In trees, all the nodes, all the vertex will be connected, right? And there should not be any loop. No loop should be there. No closed form the tree. And we'll talk about matching and covering of the graph. That is very important. Then we'll talk about graph coloring. Okay. Here we'll talk about chromatic number. So this is what I wanted to discuss. And in advanced technique, as I told you in the beginning only, combination and combination with repetition. This kind of format you will see that n minus 1 plus rc, and permutation with the constrained repetition, right? Constrained repetition, n factorial q1 factorial q2. Additional concept, we will talk about generating functions, right? Once you will expand this, it convert into polynomial. And then recurrence relation. How to form recurrence relation, right? So recurrence relation is very important. The topic like data structure when we will study, or you can say algorithm, where we'll talk about time complexity, right? So recurrence relation and all will be coming into picture. So linear recurrence relation will be of the form like this, not an plus 1 an minus. Okay. Here we will talk about linear recurrence relation, where homogeneous, non-homogeneous, all those things. So now the time is to talk about what are the topic and how many questions previously has been asked and what is the marks. So you can see here the counting techniques. Okay, from the counting techniques, that was first topic, right? And second topic, third topic, fourth topic. From the counting techniques, you have seen 20 question already. Okay, and 1 to 2 marks. 1 to 2 marks always. Okay, so from the counting techniques, 20 question already has been asked, and you can expect 1 to 2 mark question. That 20 marks, 20 question, 1 to 2 marks. So always. Propositional logic, about 36 question has been asked. So this topic is very important for GATE, because many question has been asked from this proposition logic. And predicate logic, around 30 questions, is also again very important. All the concepts are very important because they are all interlinked in, like, to understand. But yeah, functions, 18 question. Relations, you can see very many questions. So relations is also very important, right? Recurrence relation, you can, because sometimes these concepts are associated with some other subject. Algebraic structure, where we'll talk about groups and subgroup and cyclic group. Graph theory from part 1 and part 2. This is again very important topic in discrete mathematics and advanced count, around 18 question. Here 30 and 34 question has been asked, so about 3 to 5 marks. What is the conclusion here? Conclusion here is that class 9th, class 12th, you are good at basics, then move to DM. You'll be able to understand everything. And always be ready to face logical reasoning. Any branch you belong to, right? Always use aptitude and logical reasoning to solve questions. Any whether you are from electronics, whether you are from mechanical, civil, any question if you're solving, don't think directly the formula. Think logically first, then use the formula. Yes. So we'll meet from the very first topic, that is counting techniques, in the next session. So keep learning, okay, and share your feedback always, and what you want from me to be taught. Thank you so much, guys. Let's meet in the next.